I was excited that we didn't just like bulldoze past a lot of that stuff.
Thank you both so much for taking the time.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Thanks for
you.
talking with us.
Of course. Listen, I'm obsessed with this show. I love this show. This was actually my introduction into Avatar: The Last Airbender. I never watched the animated, so I'm all in.
Wow,
Also,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, so you guys are like my introduction to this franchise, and
Oh my God.
I love a villain, so
Perfect.
you all are my favorites. Like, I love a villain. How fun is it for you guys to really get to explore with the gray area of the villains this season?
Ooh.
That was the most fun part about these characters in general. I think in the anime, that's what makes them such great characters, is that there's so much gray area to work with.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think for Zuko specifically, he's a whole big mess. I mean, he doesn't even know which sides there are. You know, in the beginning, he doesn't know what side he's on, which team he's fighting for, and I think there was a lot of a lot to work with because of that. Zuko was, like he kind of said in the episode, a little lost, and I think there is a certain level of freedom that comes within that for Zuko.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And the two of you together, especially towards the end of the season, there's some such good moments between the two of you. How fun is it to get played with that like sibling rivalry? Because you both handled a very bad moment in your lives very differently.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that is that's who the core of these two people are in terms of their relationship with each other, is how differently they interpret this same experience, this trauma, and how it's like not allowing them to bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they're like, in a way, they're strangers, but they're not at all.
Yeah.
They spent so much time apart, yet they lived through this very important, not important, that's the completely wrong word. Their trauma.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But yeah, and I think what also affects that is the people that surround you during that time. Azula didn't really have a choice in Ozai, and I think for Zuko, he got good old Uncle Iroh.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I do want to talk about the costumes, because you guys, I mean, come on. First of all, Azula looks so good always.
Thank you.
How fun is it you get to do like several different costumes this season?
I know, that was so cool. Christopher did an incredible job.
Yeah.
He was the head of our costumes department. I think that towards the end of season 3, because we shot season 2 and 3 back to back, he said he was like running out of red fabric.
Yeah, for Azula and Ozai.
For Azula and Ozai, but it was, which I found so funny.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm scouring the internet for just one other form of red fabric that we haven't used. Yeah.
Sick.
Was it like for you? Where, you know, I mean, Zuko, he dials things down a little bit this season with his outfit.
Totally. I was really excited about that, because like, you know, when you wear especially the Fire Nation armor in particular, you feel it throughout the day. You feel it throughout the day. And then when you do, when you wear that for a year straight, you develop muscle that you didn't even know was possible, you know? But this season, he definitely dresses it down a little bit, but not because, I mean, kind of because he wants to, because he's in hiding, but not because they're working on a farm. They don't make that much money, you know? But I think the blue spirit costume, he definitely like spent all of his savings on that, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, that was such a cool outfit that Christopher made.
Yeah.
That if there was an outfit that I were to choose to take home, it'd be that one.
Oh my God, I love it. Well, I love you guys. I love the villains, like I said. So I'm such a big fan of Fire Nation, and I know I shouldn't be, but I
Hey,
am.
us too.
Yeah, we are too. It's
Let's
okay.
go. Love
Welcome
that.
to the fam.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, and I can't wait for everyone to get to see this season, and I can't wait for season 3.
Yeah.
All right, us too. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Thank you all so much for taking the time.
Of course.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed with this show. I love it so much, and season 2 is so good. Y'all are going through it. Every single
Let's
one
go.
of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
is
you.
going through it. Yeah, of course. I want to know for you guys, what were you most excited to explore in your character's arc this season? And that's for all of you.
I mean, I was excited to get into it. I feel like,
Yeah.
for me, like, it was a little bit daunting at first, knowing that I was going to have to learn the aspect of portraying a blind character accurately and respectfully. I was going to have to learn martial arts. I was going to be barefoot on set. And, like, I remember it feeling a little bit overwhelming that I almost couldn't focus on the arc as an entirety and more of just, like, I want to get into this character. I want to know what she's all about and explore her through this season. So I was, like, really excited to just get going.
I was excited to just come back, honestly, like to get to be Katara again, to get to work with my castmates again. I was excited to dial her waterbending and make her mastery even more. Specifically, like the water whip sleeves was like something that I remember really like focusing on and wanting to like make that a moment. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. I think something that I was excited to tackle this season was Sokka's like, he's gathered a lot of baggage in the first season. And I was excited that we didn't just like bulldoze past a lot of that stuff. He has always kind of like pushed things down in a way. And so starting off the season with him like confronting those feelings head on with his relationship with Suki and wanting to push past his relationship that he had with Yue, but not being able to, I thought was a really interesting way to start season 2. And I'm really glad that we got to see, like, add some components to Sokka as being like the older brother, the voice of the audience in a lot of ways because he can't bend, but also like really, not just have him bulldoze past all of his emotions that he has stuffed down, and they all kind of just like rifle up, and he's got to deal with them then and handle them and move past them. So that was fun for me.
I was actually really excited to build Aang up all the way up until the final episode, episode 7, and then have it all taken away from him. Like, it's actually crazy because, like, he's doing so good up until the very end where he's like so close to winning, and then everything falls apart, and then it's like a mystery for season 3. Like, how is he going to rebuild from that if he's not dead?
Yeah. If he's not dead, right. Yeah,
You'll have to watch
season
it.
3 without him, you never know. Well, what was it like filming those back to back? Like, you guys really didn't have a break, did you?
We had a
We had
month.
like a
almost
almost
We had
a
like
month.
3 weeks. That's all you
Yeah.
need.
yeah,
Which I would honestly, I
like
feel like
8
it was
months on,
helpful.
3 weeks off.
No, it was great.
It was
very,
so
I was very
awesome.
thankful
Yeah.
for those 3 weeks.
I found it very helpful
Yeah.
just to continue in staying in those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything longer might have actually been bad if I'm being
We would have all
honest. Like,
gone
it was nice
so
how
crazy. I'm pretty sure.
quickly we got to just get back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Pick up
such
where
a
we left
blessing.
off.
It's very rare to like be able to go do season 2 and then go to season 3 back to back.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
we were all like pretty locked in because it wasn't like we went back to filming right away. We actually had a boot camp period still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like
Oh,
3
okay.
weeks boot camp period for season 3, learning the fights, getting back into like, learning our evolutions of, for you guys, it's bending and fire bending and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
for me, it was just like more fights and more weapons. So yeah, it was really awesome to be able to do it back to back.
I gotta imagine putting on those outfits. You guys all look so good. Like, that's gotta be the coolest thing, like to become those characters. You know what I mean?
It is pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. Well, you guys are amazing, and congratulations. My time is up. That went so
Oh,
fast.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Thank
so
you.
But
much.
I can't wait for season 3.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you both so much for taking the time.
Hi, Tessa. Nice to see you.
Good to see you guys. I gotta tell you, I love this show so much.
We love
Yay.
you. Now love you.
I mean, so for me, this was my introduction to the franchise. My kids have watched the anime. So it was a very great experience altogether. But what does it mean for you guys? First of all, that could be the introduction to some people to Aang and everybody. And then also, trying to make sure that the fans are excited and happy as well.
Yeah, that's the balance. I think that's what we kind of got excited about was we sort of treated the show like a historical fantasy in a way, so that people who were into fantasy might look at it and say, oh, I could be interested in this. Or if you're interested in like historical drama, you might be interested. Action, like it contains so many genres already. We wanted to make sure that other people knew about it, or people who wouldn't necessarily watch animation. So that was super important. And also, everyone in the writers' room, everyone on set, we're all super fans.
Yeah.
So we had to make sure that like we were servicing the super fans as well. So there's little Easter eggs all over the place for, from the books and from Korra and from other parts of the franchise.
Yeah, so it's really making sure that it's, inviting the people that have no idea what's going on and don't know about Aang and the gang. And that it's just independently its own show that people can enjoy and love. And then hopefully for those that didn't watch the animated series, it inspires them to go back and be like, hey, where did this come from? This is great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I'm trying to not so that I don't spoil myself. You know what I mean? I'm like, I will wait.
Right, season 3. Wait till season 3 is over, then go back.
Exactly. No, I do want to talk about Toph because fan favorite. My kids love Toph, and they were like so excited to see her come in. Can you talk about that casting process and making sure you found the perfect Toph since everyone loves her so much?
Yes.
Yeah, we looked at Jenny Ju's our casting director. She's amazing, and she looked at over 6,000 submissions from an open call.
Yeah.
And then she narrowed that down to about 100 that she sent our way.
Yep.
We looked at those 100 tapes. Yep. And then did a in-person chemistry read with Gordon. So we brought in Gordon and we brought in Miyako, and she was amazing.
She's amazing. As soon as she walked into the space, first of all, I love doing casting in person, so that was really fun.
Yeah.
As soon as she walked into the room like an earthbender. My gut was like, boom, that's Toph. Like, she owned the space, and she really kind of put Gordon in his place in this like really funny kind of Toph way.
She's had like
She
a
just
real
Toph.
confidence. She's walking into the #1 on our show, who is Gordon and the Avatar, and she just owned him in the best way.
Yeah.
And, I gave her some directions, some tricky stuff just to try out on the scene, and she nailed it. And we kind of looked at each other like, yeah,
This is it. Yeah.
Oh my God, their dynamic is so great. I do also want to talk about Aang towards the end of season 2. Like, he's been going through it. He is starting to get really angry and starting to really become a little selfish, which he acknowledges, right?
Yes.
And I want to talk about like, how did you guys balance not making him like so annoying because easily, I think maybe it's Gordon, I don't know, but he easily could have been like, you could have been like, I just don't even care about you anymore. Go away. You're being terrible. But he does such a good job where you're like, I kind of want to hug you. Like,
I think that's it. Gordon is so lovable as a human being. And then as Aang, he imbues Aang with this sort of lovable kind of baby-faced quality. We knew we could get away with a lot and push it as far as we wanted to. I think it's important to kind of show those real dynamics where like friendships kind of fall apart, and then people have to kind of learn and grow and come back together. So he gave us the kids worked really hard, all of them, like on their bending, on their stunts, on their acting, on all of this stuff in between seasons. So every time they came back to us, like we were able to write up to them.
Yeah, they were just getting better and better. I think it was really exciting is in season 2, just pushing things further than we did in season 1. And I love a rift between characters, a rift between friends. It just gives you so much more to explore than they're always on each other's team. They're always on the same side. Of course, they're on the same side, but they're, having struggle is interesting. It's fun. And like the cast rose to the occasion and knocked it out of the park. So it was fun to get to play.
Yeah.
The mom and me wanted to like hug all of them and be
Yeah.
like, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, same. I mean, we definitely felt like, parents on set. It's the important thing, we talked about it in the writer's room early on, is that like growth is not a straight line, and that in order to show these characters developing and growing, they have to make a lot of mistakes. They're not perfect. They shouldn't be. They should mess up a lot in both seasons.
And they're
in all three
impression
seasons.
cookers. We just put, you stack everything against them and then like get to watch what happens. That's
Yeah.
the fun part.
Exactly. Well, I can't wait to see season 3, and I can't wait for everyone to get to see season 2. Thank you guys so much for your time, and congratulations.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.